In 1951, the first South African-built Beetle was assembled right here, at this very location. Now, 7 decades later, there's a new heir to the throne here at the VW Kariga assembly plant. And that heir is the brand new Polo GTI. It really is quite a big deal, this Polo GTI. Not just because it's a bestseller in South Africa, but because 75% of these cars get exported to other countries. The new plant where this car is made can make up to 165,000 cars a year, and they employ thousands of people from in and around the area. So yes, this is a very important car for VW. The interior of the new Polo GTI has been heavily revised. It feels and looks like a Golf GTI. Funny story is that the last time I was in PE driving a GTI was a Mark IV GTI many years ago. And apparently, this has got more interior space than the Mark IV and Mark III GTI. Speaking of GTI throwbacks, of course, it's got the 147 kilowatt 2-liter Golf 5 GTI engine, which has been very much a fan favorite since its inception. So much so that this is slightly different to the overseas model Golf, but apparently South Africans love it because of that Verpa soundtrack. But here we are, folks. Parked, deserted road. Let's try out the launch control, shall we? Traction control off. Foot on the gas. Oh, there we go. Oh wow. I don't think it's so much launch control as it is wheel spin control. 6.7 seconds to 100 is the claimed figure. Top speed 238. And 6.4 liters per 100 with a 40-liter tank. Those are the numbers that I'm sure many of you guys are interested in, because this is that kind of car, isn't it? It's the kind of car that real people buy. I just drove a luxury sedan the other day that cost 2.3 million rand. Who are these people that can afford that kind of car? But this is that sweet spot where most South Africans spend around 300,000 on a brand new car. A 500,000 rand performance hatch doesn't seem like such a bad idea. The first VW Polo was a step in the direction of mobility, compact mobility. This, VW says, is a step in the direction of technology, which means it's loaded with it. You get adaptive cruise control that works really well. You've got lane keep assist and a host of other features that are usually reserved for cars much higher up the totem pole. You've got a digital dashboard in front here. You've got a new infotainment system borrowed from its older siblings, and of course a whole bunch of optional extras as well, like this panoramic sunroof, an option that most people have opted for. Because the Polo is aimed at a slightly younger demographic, you get the option to run the Beats sound system in here, which I think is non-negotiable. And also you can get other options like 18-inch wheels. But VW has tried to come in under the 500,000 Rand mark with the Polo GTI, but then you're going to get the base spec model. And we all know South Africans don't like base spec too much at all. Another feature that's been borrowed from cars that are much more expensive is this new LED light system, IQ. They call it at VW, and basically it's the best available lighting technology. Now available on a Polo GTI. This car really does make me want to misbehave a little bit, doesn't it? Wow. I think that was a good one. That was a good one. Nice. Come on, Polo. Yes. What you notice is the acceleration on this car is kind of unrelenting. It just keeps going and going, and The grip levels are plenty high enough. I'm pushing at what feels like 6 or 7 tenths and the car just keeps going. So you've got that sure-footed feeling that you get from any GTI model. And I've got to say, this is a step up from the previous version. It feels like the front of the car bites ever so slightly. And VW have gotten very, very good at making the electronics in this car feel like it doesn't have any electronics. The VW Polo GTI comes with a 3-year warranty or 120,000 kilometers, and I'm sure if you speak to the good people at VW, you can get that extended. I think that many of you are going to buy this car just like you have in the past. And the Polo formula can't be faulted, and neither can this car. Well, I'm happy to report that the Polo GTI lives up to the name. Polo and GTI. Still a fantastic all-rounder, but if I had to nitpick on something, I'd say watch out for those optional extras and make sure they don't take you out of your budget. But other than that, this still remains the pick of the bunch in this segment. And now that it's basically a GTI that's not quite as mature, I don't think you're going to go wrong with it.